Hi, welcome to my biology class. Today let's go with gymnosperm. Seeded plants, they are coming under phanerogams, but the seeds are naked. So, naked seeded plants. And the plant is sporophyte, that is 2N. And it has got 4 important classes: Cycadopsida, Coniferopsida, Gingopsida and Neotopsida. And sometimes even the gingoids, that is Gingopsida, was previously under Coniferopsida. Now in some books it is separate and somewhere it is coming under this, but I made it 4 different classes and we'll see comparatively about everything. And when you talk about the plant here, Cycas and Williamsonia. Cycas is a living fossil because they grow very slowly, very slowly, but very beautiful ornamental plant. And here you have a Pinus, Taxus and Araucaria, all are trees. The trees are cone shape and so it is conifers. And tall trees. You talk about here the Gingopsida, Ginkgo biloba, monotypic genera, bilobed leaves and so the name biloba. And Neotopsida, you have Neetum, Welwitschia, Ephedra. Here there is no tree forms. The tree forms are up till this 3 categories, they've got a tree. The last there is no trees. So when you talk about their, they are dioecious. Male plant separate and female plant separate. This is monoecious, both male cone and female cone in the same plant. This is also dioecious. And this is also dioecious, but a few species under Welwitschia are monoecious. So mostly dioecious and few are monoecious. And when you talk about the root system, roots are typically a taproot. You know about taproot, primary, secondary and tertiary root in all category. Apart from the taproot, Cycas has got a special root invested with blue-green algae, that is that forms like a coral reefs. So it is called as a coralloid roots. This coralloid roots would be generally coming above the ground level like this sometimes, and this can be called it even as apogeotrophic root. And when it is in conifers, the taproot is occupied, symbiotically associated with fungi, mycorrhiza. In all the 3 category, mycorrhizal association. Here only the blue-green association. In exam point of view, this is very important question. And stem is woody stem, but single stem, only one stem like a coconut tree, because the terminus, generally you have a bud, terminal bud and axillary bud. In case of a cycas, terminal bud alone grows, axillary bud is completely off, so only one stem. When you come down to this, terminal bud grows faster and axillary bud grows slower. So this is very slow in growth and the terminal bud grows faster, so it appears like a cone, and so conifers. Here, this is also a very good, the trunk is there, the stem is good, trunky and woody tree. But both terminal and axillary buds grows equally, and so a kind of a bushy tree it is, bushy form like a mango tree or neem tree like. Here, the stem in Neetum is climber, it is a climber, but it has got a secondary growth and then it turned to be a woody climber. So they are called lions technically. And ephedra stem is green color because the leaves are completely reduced here. The stem performs even photosynthesis there. And Welwitschia, the stem is a kind of an underground. It is just present along with the ground, and it is a herb, you can say. There is no stem, can be seen outside even. This is the herb. And when you talk about the leaves here are very beautiful compound leaves, pinnately compound leaves, and they've got a cercinate vernation. Even in pteridophyte we discussed, the leaves are furl around, like it will be coil around like a watch spring, and later on it is unfurl and then open, and that is here you could see. Here not all that category, but the leaves are lush green, compound, big leaves, pinnately compound. Here the leaves are needle leaves. Needle leaves in the sense, look at here, this is the long shoot. On that you have a dwarf shoot, small size. The tip of that there will be a scale leaves, completely a very brown color kind, and then they will be producing needle leaves, just like a needle, very pricky. Sometimes it is soft sponge like, or sometimes pricky. When it is dried it will be pricky, and here it will be maybe 2 to 6 leaves. These are all the adaptation for this plant to thrive in any climatic condition especially, and they are evergreen trees. For this evergreen, they've got lot of adaptations anatomically. They've got a sunken stomata, they've got a thick cuticle, more number of vascular bundle to take water. So they are adapted for climatic conditions so that they'll be evergreen. And ginkgo biloba, the leaves are bilobed leaves. It will be like a fan, furcate leaves, and the margins are frill kind, and the venation is entirely the throat. It has got a dichotomously veined leaves. The leaves are very beautiful, and when the climate condition, the season changes, this will be a yellow color, typically yellow, and it covers the entire tree, looks so beautiful. And when you come down to this Neotopsida, the Neotum leaves are typically like an angiospermic leaves, that is leaves are dorsi-ventrally flattened leaves with reticulately veined. Venation pattern just resembles angiospermic leaves. And I said that ephedra, the leaves are completely reduced. But when you go to this Welwitschia, this is a unique leaf in the entire plant kingdom, because they just come emerge with 2 leaves, and these 2 leaves are there for whole of their life. They don't shed there and then change, that is the leaf keep growing, because in the basal region they've got a meristematic tissue, and this tissue keep growing, and they bond with the 2 leaves and they just die with the 2 leaves. As it grows widely, and this margins and the tip and all get torn in the wind, and it look like a more number of leaves, but it is just only 2 leaves. That is the beauty and special feature of the Welwitschia. And vascular bundle, this is a gymnosperm, next category of pteridophyte, and tracheophyta too. Here they've got a vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem is present for water and food conduction. But just like pteridophyta, in this and this, that is Cycadopsida, Coniferopsida, you don't see vessel element. There is no vessel, there is no companion cells, and there is no xylem and phloem fibers. But when you come down to this Neotopsida, there is a vessel element, there is a companion cells, and also they've got a, it's not a lignified but non-lignified fibers are present. So this is the quality of an angiosperm, and the leaves are the quality of an angiosperm. And the cone, when you talk about, here there is a male cone and this is the female cone. See, this is the ovule, that is nakedly it is present, and here the cones are small here in the bunches and the branch, like here also bunches, and here this is the cone, bunches. But in Neotum the cones are formed like an inflorescence, and seems to be that androecium kind of a thing is emerging out. So the Neotum is with their leaf and with their cone pattern and with their anatomical point of vascular region, it's almost close to angiosperm. And when you talk about the ovule, as we discussed about the heterospory leads to the seed habit, and here I just wish to continue with that. Look at here, this is the male cone which opens, releases the spores, microspores, and this microspore could have fallen on the ground and would have formed a gametophytic generation as it is formed in the previous cases of pteridophyte. But here it is not happening so. The microspores, what is being liberated from this cone, is just going and then moving in the wind current and then just falling on the female plant ovule. So it seems what the spores are reaching here to meet. So the spores are acting like a gamete. So a typical term of a male gamete can be given to this microspores. So this is called here as a pollen grain and moves in the wind current. They don't wait for water and other thing and then reaching a female, and this is the ovule. And here there is a term, archegonium is retained, and this is an exam question. One term is retained from the pteridophyte. This term is not there in angiosperm. And here there is a pollen chamber, and the pollen comes and falls here, and they'll be waiting for the fertilization. And the ovule, this is the ovule which has got a nucellus and then endosperm, everything is there. When the right time comes, they just come and meet with the egg, and the sperm, that is the pollen grain, comes and meets with the egg, and fertilization is done. But one more thing happens here, that is fertilization. Before fertilization, the endosperms will form and waiting to nourish the embryo. So this is how the naked ovule is different from angiosperm and different from pteridophyte. And the microspores here, and called it as a male gamete, and the gamete and gamete meets, male and female fertilization. So the sporophytic plant, 2N plant, produces gametes, rather call them as a spore. And where is the gametophyte then? So there is no gametophyte outside the body. The gametophyte is formed within the sporophyte. So they don't make alternation of generation outside the body. Within the body they produce the gametophyte. So the entire body, that is the entire life cycle of them, both in gymnosperm and angiosperm, it is 2N. It is sporophyte. Only when they form the gametes, that is pollen grains and the egg, they have a meiosis, and then single N haploid gametes are formed. So they belong to a diplontic life cycle. This is very important for gymnosperm and angiosperm. And this is about their life cycle. And when you talk about an economic importance, they are very useful. The sago is they just taking from the stem of the Psychodiopsida cycas, and Coniferopsida. Almost all our tree, the world tallest tree, Sequoia sempervensis, belong to this Coniferopsida, and the pinus trees or Taxus, and they are all very good timbers, and they'll be using to make the doors and other things in the temperate countries. And then resin, gum extracted from this one, and from ephedra, they take ephedrine, a very good alkaloid for asthma treatment and bronchitis treatment. And this is a very good ornamental tree. Cycas is an ornamental tree too. And so economically this group is very useful. And I think that's all about this gymnosperm comparatively we discussed. If you have any other doubt or further lecture, if you wish, you please put it in the comment section, and we just go ahead with and please subscribe. Thank you very much.